Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving deep into urban legends. Final Cut, released in 2000, a horror sequel that tried to capitalize on the post-Scream slasher boom, but carved its own bloody niche by fusing urban legends with the meta world of film students obsessed with stories and performances. The movie opens with a memorable airplane scene where what seems to be a terrifying hijacking is revealed to be a student thesis project. This sets the tone instantly, blurring the line between reality and staged horror, and letting the audience know that nothing they see can be trusted at face value. The story revolves around Amy, a determined young film student trying to finish her thesis project and compete for the coveted Hitchcock Award, an honor promising a Hollywood career. The prize becomes the symbolic heart of the film because everyone wants it. Everyone will sacrifice for it, and as we soon discover, someone is willing to kill for it. The exterior of the film, compared to the darker first urban legend, is bright, sleek, and polished. The campus is alive with students carrying film equipment, cameras rolling, sound booms stretching across sets, and creative projects being born everywhere. But this glossy exterior hides a sinister undertone. The cheerful, open campus becomes an ironic stage where brutal deaths take place in broad daylight, turning spaces of art into arenas of violence. Performance is a key layer throughout, not just because the characters are film students, but because everything in the film feels like a performance within a performance. The students act for their projects, act for each other, act for survival. And the killer stages murders that resemble myths and filmic set pieces, blurring the border between art and real horror. One of the early shocking kills happens inside a sound booth when Simon, student working on his audio project, is strangled with recording wires. And his last breaths are chillingly captured by the equipment he used for creativity. Another memorable kill references the urban legend of someone hiding in the back seat. A girl drives unaware until the masked figure emerges behind her, turning a whispered myth into brutal reality. The interior settings amplify dread. Every editing suite feels like a prison. Every film set looks like a trap. Every dark corner holds the possibility of danger. Projection rooms, libraries, storage closets, they all serve as hunting grounds, transforming familiar academic spaces into bloody playgrounds. As the body count rises, suspicion spreads, and paranoia eats away at the survivors. Amy begins to see the connections, but authorities dismiss the deaths as accidents. And rival students often laugh off her fears. The lack of real safety features becomes apparent. There are no teachers stepping in, no police patrolling. And the killer has free rein to orchestrate elaborate murders, turning the school into a locked stage for their performance of violence. One student dies after a poisoned drink. Another is locked in a cold refrigerator, which transforms into a morgue-like death chamber. A camera rig becomes a murder weapon. The creativity of the kills keeps each scene feeling distinct and shocking. Safety is only an illusion, and survivors rely solely on instinct and intelligence, which Amy develops as the story progresses. She transforms from a vulnerable student into a sharp survivor who anticipates the killer's games. What makes urban legends? Final Cut unique is its setting in a film school, which allows horror to be self-aware and satirical. The students constantly make movies, talk about plot twists, and mock horror. Yet they themselves are victims of a slasher narrative. They think they understand the rules, but the killer keeps rewriting them. Urban legends endure precisely because they change with each retelling. Performance becomes central again because the killer is not only murdering but also directing each death. As though it is part of their twisted film project, their legend, their masterpiece. Amy rises as the final girl not because she is the strongest physically, but because she is clever, understands that stories have power, and uses her film knowledge to survive. The climax brings us to the unmasking of the killer, whose motive is revealed: jealousy, ambition, and the hunger for recognition. The Hitchcock Award symbolizes not only glory but obsession. Amy must fight back on a set where her knowledge of filmmaking becomes her weapon. She turns the killer's trap against them, solidifying her role as survivor and truth-teller. The kill count is inventive. Strangulations, slashings, poisoned drinks, staged set-piece deaths. Each tied to urban legends or cinematic irony. The performances of the cast elevate what could have been a routine slasher into something engaging. Rivalries and competitiveness feel authentic, and horror layered over ambition raises the stakes. The conclusion leaves us with Amy standing strong, scarred, but wiser. She has seen how ambition can destroy, how legends can come to life, and how survival depends on intelligence and resilience rather than brute strength. Urban Legends, Final Cut, despite its flaws, delivers creative deaths, chilling urban myth references, and a layered satirical backdrop, ensuring its place in slasher history and making it a bloody, fascinating chapter worthy of any kill count review.